Welcome back to the channel, everyone. CryptoTakeOver coming back with another Bitcoin and cryptocurrency video for you on today's channel. So we're going to be looking at a few articles, going over the charts a little bit later, and yeah, Bitcoin's sitting right at about 18,300. We've been kind of in a consolidation range as of right now. We're going to go on into the charts here in a second. Let's go over some of the news articles first, and let's get started. All right, if you're brand new to this channel, we pretty much go over cryptocurrency videos every single day on this channel. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you're interested in staying up to date with us. And also share this video with friends and family if they're interested in cryptocurrency and just getting started. We have a beginner's path to cryptocurrency course available. Links in the description box below if you're interested in checking that out. All right, here we go. Why cryptocurrency stocks crashed today. Cryptocurrency stocks and funds as Grayscale Bitcoin and Riot Blockchain took dramatic haircuts on Wednesday and as Bitcoin prices retreated again. So Riot Blockchain is a mining company, I'm assuming, took a 15% dive. Marathon Patent Group, another digital cryptocurrency mining company, 12% dive. Cana MicroStrategies took a dip. Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust took a dip too as well. So a few interesting, NASDAQ companies listed here. And we can also kind of go over some of those a little bit too. I've taken a look at some of these, such as MicroStrategy and Marathon Patent Group before too. And I have my own opinions about those placed in the Patreon page. So if you're interested in checking those out to see if we think those might be good investments or not. Obviously, nothing on this channel is financial advice, or anything that I say or do is to not be replicated, but make sure that you do your own due diligence and research before you spend your hard-earned money, right? So what? Many popular cryptocurrencies suffered dramatic cuts on Wednesday, reversing the positive momentum they had shown in recent weeks. The single Bitcoin token was worth much more as 19,520 last Thursday, but fell below the $18,000 mark on Wednesday morning. That's an 8% drop in less than a week and a 3% single day loss, according to the data from CoinMarketCap. Other popular cryptocurrencies followed similar paths over the last week, including Ethereum and Ripple. Now what? It's no surprise to see the companies listed above taking a dive when Bitcoin and Ethereum prices are swooning. The Bitcoin drop at the heart of it all looks like nothing more than a profit taking. Last week's peak Bitcoin price represented a 170% gain from 7,200 on January 1st. This week's Bitcoin moves were made on a modest trading volumes, roughly matching Bitcoin's average trading volumes of the last 3 months. Bitcoin prices have approached the $20,000 mark several times in the recent weeks, but always retreated to lower ground again. There's no telling what happens next when Bitcoin prices finally do cross that physiological important threshold, except that cryptocurrencies will continue to be higher volatile for many years to come. Fellow full Dan Kaplinger calls the winter Bitcoin defining moment a crucial crossroads that will set a tone for whatever comes next. Nearly all of the cryptocurrency stocks in the table above have at least doubled in 2020, led by 665% gains in Riot Blockchain and 380% return in Marathon Patent Group. The exception to the rule is a China-based hardware specialist, Cana, whose Bitcoin mining operations have lost some of their computing horsepower due to the coronavirus mitigation rules. Cana's share prices have fallen 37% year to date. Cryptocurrencies are exciting but unpredictable investments today. You can buy your tokens themselves or invest in crypto market through funds and companies like the ones mentioned here. Either way, you need to buckle up your seatbelt and get ready for a rocky ride. Even the best businesses in the mix will need Bitcoin prices to continue their skyrocketing rise. Make sure you can afford to lose your Bitcoin-based investments while crossing your fingers for the long-term success. That's just the nature of the unpredictable asset type. Obviously these companies here, they're mostly mining companies, to be honest. So MicroStrategies invested most of its cash reserves in Bitcoin. And then Marathon Patent Group is a mining company too, and so is Riot Blockchain. So the fact that you have these companies that are basically putting a lot of their money into cryptocurrency or into Bitcoin definitely tells a take of where these companies stand in the future if Bitcoin is to continue to rise. And it definitely gives them a hedge against a lot of other companies that maybe aren't investing in Bitcoin. So they're going to be able to do a lot more things. Let's say when Bitcoin passes 20,000 or hits $100,000 or so, they're going to be able to invest in a lot more things to benefit their company. And so that's why you're seeing a lot of talk about these these NASDAQ companies that are investing in Bitcoin to basically hedge themselves against the future of other companies too as well. So very interesting article there. Let's jump over here to JP Morgan says gold will suffer for years because of Bitcoin. So here we have the rise of cryptocurrencies and mainstream finance is coming to an expensive gold, says JP Morgan Chase Company. Money has poured into Bitcoin funds and out of gold since October. A trend is only going to continue in the long run as more institutional investors take a position in cryptocurrencies, according to the bank's quantitative strategies included Nicholas Padins-Zugola. JP Morgan is one of the few Wall Street banks that's predicting a major shift in gold and crypto markets as digital currencies become increasingly popular as an asset class. The trend poses a problem for bulls and precious metals markets over the coming years. If investors move even a small slice of their allocations away from gold and into crypto, the adoption of Bitcoin by institutional investors has only begun, while for gold, its adoption by institutional investors is very advanced. Wrote the JP Morgan strategist. The Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, a listed security popular with institutions, has seen inflows in almost 2 billion since October, compared with outflows of 7 billion for exchange traded funds backed by gold, according to JP Morgan. I mean, people are just going to put where their money, where their money is drawing them to, what they see. And obviously Bitcoin's not going to be overlooked. It's made substantial gains, in the past year and over the past years too, and it just continues to rise. Whereas gold has taken a lot longer, and it is what it is. Okay, Bitcoin's rally spurs Wall Street to question future for gold. J.P. Morgan calculations suggest Bitcoin only accounts for 0.18 of the family, or 0.18% of family office assets, compared to 3.3 for gold ETFs. Tilting the needle from gold to Bitcoin would represent the transfer of billions in cash. So right now you only have 0.18% families' offices invested in Bitcoin, and then 3.3 are invested in gold ETFs. So still gold outweighing a little bit, where some of these families are investing in their money into. One way to play the future is buying 1 unit of Grayscale and selling 3 units of SPDR Gold Trust, the bank said. If the medium to longer term thesis provides right, the price of gold would suffer from a fractional flow headwind over the coming years, wrote JP Morgan strategist. In the short term, though, there's a good chance that Bitcoin prices have overshot and gold is due for a recovery, the bank said. For Bitcoin, momentum signals have deteriorated, which will likely cause selling by investors to trade on the price trends. Bitcoin has fallen 6% since closing the all-time high of 19,400 last week. Excuse me. Trying to clear my throat here. Okay. All right, here we go. So, you're going to start to see a lot of these people move their money into where the markets are telling them to. And obviously, gold has been, it did do well during the Corona run-up, but now it's just kind of settling. And so, Bitcoin still seems to be rising up in price too as well. So we can go over the charts here on the gold as well here in a second. All right, let's take a look at Cointelegraph coming out with the article today. Bitcoin undervalues sub 20K, says new report as BTC mimics 2017 bull run. Bitcoin market cap to the thermocap ratio is primed to repeat bullish behavior, analyst from Stack Fund says. Okay. Bitcoin investors have not long to accumulate before a continuation of the bull run past 20,000, a new report says. Released on December 10th, of weekly report, an Asian crypto fund provider Stack Funds predict that one indicator is particular will follow historical precedents and propel Bitcoin higher. I'm pretty sure y'all already know what the indicator is, but let's go ahead and keep an eye out here. You can buy BTC, but not for long. According to Slack, the market cap to thermocap ratio, MCTC, is showing signs of repeating its performance in 2017, a year in which BTC to USD went from under 1,000 to 19,000 on Coinbase. MCTC takes a snapshot of Bitcoin market cap, then divides it by miners' total revenue since mining began. The thermocap And I'm assuming that, okay, thermocap. Okay, interesting. As of this week, MCTC is around 17, mimicking the mid 2017 and lingering in position from which it has twice heralded the start of the bull market. The ratio is currently sitting at a 17 level, which coincides with its 2019 peak. In addition, the value is adjacent to its 2017 breakout, where it whispered around the 20 handle before Bitcoin's really materialized, the report commented. And so here you can see the chart here. In its current position, there is thus considerable room for maneuver upwards, and it leads Stack to assume that bullish progress will soon continue. So thermocap, I guess this is what the miners are making on money right now. And so it looks like we're about to pass this next threshold here of when we started, passing by our last peak. It looks like we are starting to get to that point in price action, and also with how much miners are making right now too. So once we pass, I'm assuming that this $20 mark here, it's going to probably continue to skyrocket. We could see another rejection. It looks like we saw a rejection here with the market, with the thermocap at least, but it does more or less look like Bitcoin's ready to surpass its previous all-time high. And so let's see, given the ratio is still at its lower band, we are skewed to believe accumulation opportunities persist, but not for long before the $20,000 price breakout materializes. It summarized. 19,400 proves stubborn resistance. Bitcoin has rebounded over the past 24 hours after sudden weakness ended a period of price consolidation to rekindle lows under 18,000. At press time, BTC to USD circled 18,300 with traders watching for signs to definitive support returning. As Cointelegraph reported, however, little sign in definitive buyer support above 16,200 is evident from exchange order books, with 20,000 still remaining a make or break resistance level. So very interesting. It says if we want to get this bullishness and attack the all-time high again, I'd want to see a break above this block. He summarized an update on Thursday. Okay, so 19,400 is a high water mark to which reveal confirmation of the current bearish scenario is over. So it looks like some of these people are waiting for 19,400 to break. Honestly, right now it looks like 18,500 would be the price we're looking at. So let's jump over here to the charts real quick. So taking a look at Bitcoin, we're staying on the daily as of right now. As you can see, we've been holding nice support here on our 21 EMA. We never broke below it, so this is actually a really good support line for us too right now as well. And I've also drawn a nice little trend line out here for us, support, resistance, and then became support now. So now we're looking to hold support here on this trend line, as well as the 21 EMA. So, obviously the body candles are holding above the 21 EMA. Our wicks are holding right at this trend line here too, as well. And so what I'm thinking is we're probably going to consolidate out for a little bit longer, make an ascending triangle pattern for the most part, because we have been putting in higher highs. I mean, that's the thing here. We've been putting in a higher high. We haven't broken below our previous low, and I would say higher highs, not higher highs, but we've been putting in higher lows. And so now we're just waiting for the higher high. That we're getting the higher lows, and we're probably going to consolidate out a little bit longer until we can break and make a higher high, and then probably come back down and maybe retest 20K as support. But I'm thinking we're probably just going to blow through 20K. For the most part, I think that if anything, we're going to probably just blow past 20K on our next retest probably. And then we'll, maybe come back down eventually a little bit later. But I'm thinking we'll probably blow up to 23,000 or so, in the near term, once we pass 20K. So let's see if we start to zoom in here a tad bit. We can already see our momentum waves are starting to recover just a tad bit too as well. Taking a look at the 10-hour time frame too, it does look like we are getting another little bit of rejection, but like I said, I think we're going to see a lot of consolidation out here to the side. You can see that our money flow on our 6-hour has been starting to round off into that red money flow area too, so that's a little concerning. But what I want to do is I want to keep zooming in here. And what I'd like to see is our recovery on some of our money flow on our lower time frame. So if we start to zoom in here, and maybe even in our 2-hour You can see our red money flow is still pretty thin for the most part. I'd want to see this recover and move back into our greenish territory. Our 90-minute time frame still showing a nice little red money flow, but we are starting to see some trigger waves form here. So if we start to move from our 2-hour to our 3-hour, we're starting to see some trigger waves kind of form on our lower time frames as of right now. And so these trigger waves could send us back up a little bit higher. They could catapult us to maybe retest resistance at 8,500 or 18,500. So they could catapult us to probably retest that as resistance and then maybe break through from there. So it does look like we do have a trend line of resistance here right at about 18,600. And then we're going to be looking at our 2-hour time frame. We've held a nice little triangle or a nice little resistance line here as well from our previous high at about 18,800. And it looks like our next retest is probably going to be around $19,000 or so. And so if we are to break through $19,000, then we're definitely looking for a higher move up to probably retest that 20K area. But I think that we're probably going to consolidate out for a little bit longer here, maybe for the rest of the week, probably into the weekend. And we'll kind of see how things want to play out from there. You know, we've been leaving a lot of gaps on you know, our CME charts too as well. And I know people are concerned about that. But honestly, I think that Bitcoin is still just really, really bullish as of right now. And we're probably looking for a retest back at about $19,000. First, we need to retest 18,500 and see if we can break through that. If we break through that, we're looking for about a retest at about $19,000 or so. And maybe see some rejection until we can decide to break through that. So that's Bitcoin right now. Let's take a look at the dominance chart to see how much we've been recovering here. I know we were kind of expecting a little bit of recovery on the dominance chart. It does look like we did kind of push up a little bit higher, but seeing a little bit of rejection on the dominance too as well, possibly moving back to the downside here. But you know, money flow still looks really good on our higher time frames with our dominance chart. Let's take a look at our 2-hour here. Yeah, so we kind of bottomed out here, but we've still been rising, putting in higher lows as well with the dominance chart, you know, for the most part. So I'm still probably a little bit bullish here with the dominance as well too. It does look like we are recovering here on the 4-hour with a little bit of a bullish divergence as well forming for us. So we could possibly see another push to the upside here for the dominance chart too as well. And so let's go over to our fiat chart, see what's going on with the dollar here. And if the dollar is collapsing, it does look like it is ready to move back down once again. Our 10-hour time frame is going to give us a nice rejection here. This is probably more likely going to be a nice tight green dot or red dot to send us back down a little bit lower. Still finding resistance at this pivot point here. You can see last time we got a rejection on right at about our 0 pivot point. We just continue to fall and fall and fall. And so if we see that same rejection here, I'm probably guessing we're going to come back down and put in another big green dot too as well. So I'm going to say that we're probably going to come back down and retest this trend line right at about 88 cents or 89 cents or so. And it's probably just going to continue to fall from there. So definitely gives a nice rise to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general. Let's take a look at maybe Ethereum, see how Ethereum's doing as of right now, since we like to gauge ETH with our altcoins too as well. ETH still finding support on the 21 EMA as well, probably going to be expecting a bounce here. So I would look for also support here on the 21 EMA, but relatively looking like it's doing the same thing that Bitcoin's doing right now too. And so let's take a look at gold, and we'll finish it off with that. So taking a look at gold, we broke bearish out of our descending triangle here that we had kind of placed out for us. It does look like we are recovering to retest that trend line once again. But our daily, man, it looks like it's going to continue to sell off. This does look still pretty bearish. We did get a retest back down to our previous resistance levels. And so what we're probably looking for is another double bottom here, probably right at about 17,000 or so. And then we could continue maybe a little bit lower than that too. Possibly down to the 1600 area or so for gold. So, we'll probably retest 1700, and then if we break below that, it's going to be about 1600 or so for us to probably hold support. But gold looks like it's ready to come back down and retest a double bottom here, and we'll just kind of have to see how that wants to play out. money flow on our dailies kind of rounding off too as well. 2-day money flow also rounding off. So gold's going to take a little bit of time to recover. Overall, I'm still bullish on gold and silver, but I think that obviously people are going to be wanting the quick returns and the quick gains as of right now. And I think that that's going to be found within Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So with that being said, let's take a look at the total coin market cap just to see where our altcoins are. This is excluding Bitcoin, so this is our altcoin market cap. And let's see if we have our daily time frame pulled up here. Still finding support on the 21 EMA, just like Ethereum and Bitcoin too as well. So I'm definitely expecting probably a bounce here with the total coin market cap excluding Bitcoin. But yeah, this looks pretty good, folks. And I think that we still have quite a bit of room to run for Bitcoin. We're going to be looking for about 18,500 and then probably about $19,000 or so for us to break through and probably consolidate out for a little bit longer. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. Sorry about the congestion, but I hope that everyone's having a good day. Don't forget to check out our Patreon page if you're interested in learning about how we trade this, what altcoins we're getting in and out to, how we're preparing for 2021. So you can join us on our Patreon page. I highly look forward to you joining us in there. And also, if you're interested in learning about the indicators that we use, we have a link to Market Cipher. We use the Market Cipher indicator by CryptoFace, which is a 3-package indicator. I still believe it's on sale right now, so you can be sure to check the links in the description box below if you want to pick up those indicators. And then, yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're doing a giveaway at 3,000 subs. You need to be signed up for our newsletter. Link in the description box below to be signed up for our newsletter, and you'll get qualified to enter a giveaway of $100 in one of our favorite altcoins. So I look forward to seeing y'all on the next one. CTO signing out. Peace.